will run, I will climb, I will soar. I'm undefeated, oh. Jumping out of my skin, pull the cord. Yeah, I believe it. Oh, the past is everything we were. Don't make us who we are. So I'll dream until I make it real, and all I see is stars. It's not until you fall that you fly. When your dreams come alive, you're unstoppable. Take a shot, chase the sun, find the beautiful. We will go in the...
Hi lovelies, welcome back again to the channel. How are you doing? I hope you all are good. Thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate every one of you, and I pray that the good Lord will continue to bless you and crown all your efforts with success in Jesus' name. Amen. Today we are going to make this beautiful short gown. It's an A-line shawl jacket with a princess line and a small beautiful sleeve. I like the gown and I decided to bring it to us. So if you like it and you are interested in learning how to make it, please relax and let's do this together. And please hit that like button. Okay, let's push the video. Thank you so much. And if you are new to the channel, you are highly welcome. My name is Chisom Ene. Here I teach about hair growth and fashion tutorials. So please subscribe to join the family and turn the notification bell on so you'll be notified for more videos. Alright? Thank you, and God bless you. So with that being said, let's get started. So guys, these are the materials we need for the gown. This is my lining, my cotton lining, and then my fusible interfacing, and then my material. I have 6 yards of Ankara African print here. I'm just going to make use of only 3.5 yards for this gown. So 3.5 yards will be enough for the gown. So I'll start by cutting out the amount of material we need for the gown. I'll cut the back side first, then we'll cut the front side. So guys, I'll place my material on fold. I just folded it into 2. So vertically like this, I have 19 inches. Here I have 19 inches on fold. So this is my hip measurement divided by 4. My hip measurement is the biggest part of my measurement. So my hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 8 inches allowance. This is what I have here. So altogether I have it's supposed to be 18.75, but I have 19 inches on fold. Okay, the extra 8 inches allowance is because of the A-line flay at the down part of the gown. So to achieve our flay, I have added 8 inches allowance. So here I'll take the length of the gown. The length I'm working with is 37 inches. I'll be adding extra 2 inches allowance, making it 39 inches. So here I have 37 inches plus 2 inches allowance, making it 39 inches. So here I have 39 inches. So I'm going to cut out from here out. And this is what I need for the back side. I'll be cutting the front side now. So this is what I have. This is for the back side. I just place it on top to cut out the front part. So the back side is shorter than the front side. So the front is longer than the back side with 6 inches. So here I have extra 3 inches or 3.5 inches this side. This will cover for the button allowance and the lapel. We are going to cut the back side. After cutting the back side, we'll cut the front side. So I'm going to keep the front side. Because we are making a button down gown, the back side will not have any opening. The opening is going to be at the front side, which is the button side. So I'm going to start by adding my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2 will give me 8 inches. From here to here is 8 inches. Then I mark. So the neck width for the back side, the neck width I'm working with is 3 inches. For this type of gown, you can only make use of neck width of 3 inches or 3.5 inches. Don't go more than that. So the neck width I have here is 3 inches. I'll come to this place and take my shoulder slope of 1 inch and mark. This is because our shoulders are not straight. That's why we are adding the shoulder slant or shoulder slope. So I'm going to add my shoulder allowance of ½ inch and mark. And I'll connect it as well. So from here I'm going to add my armhole depth. My armhole depth is 8 inches. You can measure your round armhole and divide it by 2 to get your armhole depth. Or you make use of our formula, which is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. Whatever you have will be your armhole depth. So my armhole depth is 8 inches. Then I mark. So I'm going to connect the line. So I'm going to create my armhole curve for the back side. And for me to do that, I will measure my bust circumference. My bust circumference is 39 inches. I'll be adding 1 inch. 1 inch for ease, making it 40 inches. So my bust circumference is 40 inches. I'll be dividing it by 4. 40 divided by 4 will give me 10 inches. So here I'll mark my 10 inches. Then I'll connect to this. I'll take the midpoint of my armhole depth, which is 8 divided by 2, 4. So the midpoint I have here is 4 inches. From this 4 inches, I'm going to make a curve to this bust circumference. We've gotten our armhole curve for the back side. So we are going to create our neckline. Our neck width is 3 inches. So the neck depth I'm working with is going to be 1 inch because we are making a shawl collar. 1 inch here, then I mark. So this is my neck line for the back side. So the next thing we are going to do now, like I said, the gown has a princess line. So we are going to be creating our princess line here. And for us to do that, I'm going to take my vertical measurement, which is from shoulder to the bust point, from shoulder to the under bust, to the waist and to the hip, down to the hemline. I hope you understand. So I'm going to add my vertical measurement now. This is my shoulder. From shoulder to bust point is 10 inches for my bust point. Under bust 13. My waist is 19. And then my hip is 25. So I'm going to rule out the lines so that it will be visible enough. So guys, this is my bust line, bust point, my under bust, my waist and my hip line. So the next thing we are going to do is to come to the bust point, and then I'm going to add my bust span. So my bust span is the distance from one bust to the other. That's the nipple to the nipple point. So my bust span is 8 inches. 8 inches divided by 2 because the material is folded into 2. So I'll be dividing 8 inches by 2. When I open it, it will be complete 8 inches. So 8 inches divided by 2 will give me 4. Then I'll be adding ½ inch for joining allowance because I'll be cutting it out and we need to join it back. So making it 4.5. So here I'll measure 4.5 and mark. I'm going to take the 4.5 inches down. So I will connect the lines. So the next thing is to take this line to the armhole. I'll just simply measure 3.5 inches at the armhole point and then mark. So I'll take this line to this 3.5 inches. So here we have our princess line for the back side. So I'm going to extend this. I will extend this line by 1 inch. So I'm going to extend this place by 1 inch. And then I'll connect it. I'll create another armhole curve because of this extension. So this is our new armhole curve. I'm going to cut like this out. Okay? So the reason why I extended this place is so that when I join the two sides together, the two lines here and here is going to align, is going to match up together. One will not be shorter than the other. So that's the essence of extending this line. It's very, very important. If you don't extend this line, after joining it, this side will not match up with this side. And that will cause your shoulder to reduce because you need to trim it off and then it will reduce the shoulder. So it's important to extend this line. So the next thing we are going to do is to add our horizontal measurement. What I'm going to add here is only the bust circumference. So I'll be adding my bust measurement. My bust circumference is 40 inches. That is 39 plus 1 inch for ease, making it 40. So my bust circumference is 40 inches. I'll divide the 40 inches by 4. 40 divide by 4 will give me 10 inches. So I'm going to be marking my 10 inches here at the bust line. I'll be adding 2 inches allowance to that. So you can decide to add more allowance if you want. So here I'm going to extend it to the armhole. So I haven't gotten my bust circumference. I'm going to extend the bust circumference to the under bust line. I will not be adding my under bust measurement. I'll just extend my bust circumference that I've added here down to the under bust line. I hope it's clear. So I'll just extend the line. So from this point, from this under bust line, I'm going to draw my A line down, okay, for our flay. So I'll place my ruler like this and then draw my A line down to the hemline. So this is what I have. So the next thing I'll do is to come to the hemline. Because I don't want it pointed, I'm going to measure 1 inch here and mark so that I'll give it a slant curve. I'm going to blend it to the hemline. So this is what I have. I don't want a sharp pointed edge. So that's why I'm removing 1 inch here. Alright. So this is all for the back side. I'm going to cut the back side and then we'll proceed to the front side. I hope you understand and I hope it's clear. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section. Okay, so I'll be cutting the back side now. So I'm going to cut the princess line later because I'll be using this one to trace the front side. So I'm going to set it aside and we'll cut the front side. So guys, for the front side, I have extra 6 inches here. And then I have extra 3.5 inches here. This will cover for the back collar. And then this will cover for the button allowance and the lapel for the front side. Okay? So I'm going to start by adding my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 8, that's 16 divided by 2, which will give me 8, then I mark. For the front, the neck width is 3 inches, then I mark 3 inches. My shoulder slope of 1 inch, so I'm going to connect it to the neck width. My shoulder allowance 1/2 inch, then I mark 1/2 inch shoulder allowance, and I'll connect it as well. So I'm going to draw my armhole depth 8 inches, then I mark. I'll connect the line. So for my armhole curve, I'll measure my bust circumference, which is 40 inches divided by 4 to give us 10. So I'm going to place my 10 inches here. I'll be taking my midpoint of my armhole depth, which is 4 inches. That is 8 divided by 2, 4. Then I mark. For the front armhole curve, I'm going to come inward by 1/2 inch and mark. So from here, I'll take it to the shoulder and then I'm going to curve it to meet the bust circumference. Alright? So this is our armhole curve for the front side. I'm going to place the back side to the front side so that we trace out what we have for us to save time. I'll place it on this line. I'll place it on this line like this, and I'm going to trace out what I have. So I've traced out what we have. So this is our princess line for the front side. Remember, what we need is only the princess line. There's no bust here for this gown. We just need the princess line. So the next thing I'm going to do is to extend this one by 1 inch as well, like we did in the back side. So we're going to extend this place by 1 inch as well. And I'll be creating a new armhole curve because of the extension. So guys, the next step is to create our shawl collar. Alright, and this is what I mean by shawl collar. We are going to be achieving this shape on the gown. Okay, so for us to create our shawl collar, the first thing we are going to determine is the breaking point. This is the breaking point. This is where the collar is going to stop, and then this is the starting point of our button. As you can see on the style, the collar is high on the neckline, so I'm going to take the neck depth of 8 inches So that will be our breaking point. So for my breaking point, I'm going to measure 8 inches and mark. Okay, this is where the collar is going to stop, and the starting point of our button, where we are going to start fixing our button. I hope it's clear. From this 8 inches, I'll be measuring my button allowance. I'll be making use of 1.5 inches for my button allowance. So I'm going to mark 1.5 inches. So I'll connect it like so. I'll take the 1.5 inches down to the hemline and then connect it with a straight line. Alright? So this is our button allowance. 1.5 inches. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is to connect from this button allowance to the neck width. The neck width I'm working with is 3 inches. That is what I measured here, 3 inches. So I'll connect from this place, the button allowance, to the neck width, and then I'll connect with a straight line. So let me connect it. So this is what I have. From here to here with a straight line. So the next thing we are going to do is to add our back collar here. Okay? So this is what I mean by our back collar. From this place to this place is the back collar. Alright? So I'm going to extend this line upwards using the back neck width. This is our back neck width. What we measured here for the back neck width is 3 inches. Of course, the back and the front neck width is always the same. So the back neck width is 3 inches. So I'm going to be extending this line by 3 inches. Okay, that is from here to here will be 3 inches for our back collar. And because we are going to cut this shape into 2, I'm going to be joining here. We are going to join the 2 collars together. So for the joining, I'll be adding 1/2 inch allowance. So what I'm going to measure here is going to be 3.5 inches instead of 3 inches. I hope you understand. I'm going to extend this line by 3.5 inches like this. So having marked the 3.5 inches, I'm going to be extending this line to meet the 3.5 inches. So what we have here is from here to here. This is what we have here now for the back collar. Okay? So the next step is to determine the height of the collar. So the height of the collar, for the height of the collar, what I mean is from here to here. From here to here. That is the wideness of the collar. That is the next thing we are going to determine. So for me, I'm going to make use of 3 inches. So it's just up to you. If you want, you can go more than that or lower than that. I'll be adding 3 inches from the wideness of my collar. Okay? So 3 inches, I'm going to measure 3 inches. I'll be adding 1/2 inch for sewing allowance, making it 3.5 inches as well. So I'm going to come here and measure 3.5 inches and mark. So I'm going to connect the 2. So this is what I have. So the shape is going to be looking like angle 90, like so. So it's not going to be straight. So from here, the next thing I'm going to do is to draw the shape of the collar down to this point. So we are going to draw this shape from here down to the breaking point. Alright? So we've gotten from here to here, which is the back collar, and we have gotten the height of the collar. That is the wideness of the collar, which is from here to here. And from this place, I'm going to draw the shape of my collar down to the breaking point. I hope it's clear. So I'm going to connect from here down to the breaking point. Okay, so I'm going to connect it like so. So, having gotten the collar, the next thing we are going to do now is to cut it out. All right. So guys, we now have our two collars. Okay, we are going to be joining by 1/2 inch. So after joining by 1/2 inch, we'll be left with 3 inches, which is the wideness of our back neckline. All right. So yeah. So guys, I'm done cutting the front and the back. Okay. So this is our princess line for the back, and then this is our princess line for the front. So guys, we are going to cut the sleeve. What I have here is 9 inches. My round armhole is 16, divided by 2 is 8. So I'll place my armhole here, which is 8 inches, and I added 1 inch allowance. So what I have here is 9 inches. Unfold, as you can see. I'll cut this one. I'll use it to trace the second sleeve. So the length of the sleeve is 8 inches. Then I added extra 3 inches allowance. So to cut the armhole, I'm going to go down by 4 inches and mark. So from these 4 inches, I'm going to connect to this place with an S shape, something like an S shape. So I'm going to cut from here out. I'll be fixing elastic, 1/2 inch elastic at this side. So because of it, I'll not be adding my round sleeve measurement. All right. So I'm going to use this one to cut out the second sleeve. So for the belt, I have 60 inches here for my belt. 60 inches for my belt. And then the wideness of the belt is 3.5. I'm going to use 1/2 inch to join the belt, and then it will remain 3 inches for the wideness of the belt. All right. So what I need to do now is to trim off the edge of the belt. I'm going to come here, and then I'll remove 1.5 inches here, and then slant it like so. So I'm going to cut it out. So this is for my belt. So guys, we are going to be cutting the lining now. I'll cut the lining for all of them except the 2 front sides that has the shawl collar. For this one, I'm going to use my material for the lining. Okay, so that when we turn the collar like this, the lining will not show. The material, instead of the lining, the material will be showing. It will be like this. But if I cut lining here, when I turn my collar, like, the lining will show, and this is not what I want. In case you want to make use of plain material, just go ahead and buy maybe crepe material or any other material, and then you put it here for lining in place of lining. Don't use lining for this place. So guys, I've cut my lining, as you can see, and I've cut this one, the front side. I cut the lining with my material. Okay, I've gone ahead to attach my interfacing with my pressing iron. All right, so this is the two fronts, the two front side, and then this one is the lining for the two front side. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is to reduce the lining by 2.5 inches. The sewing allowance I left here is 1.5 inches. I'll be reducing the lining by 2.5 inches. So the next thing I'll do is to go over to the machine. I'll sew the princess line. I'm going to do the joining and I'll get back to you. Okay guys, I'm done joining the princess lines. This is the back side. And then this is the down part of it. And this is the front side. And then this is the lining for the two front side. So guys, I'm going to go over to the machine and I'll be using this lining to turn the material. So I'll be sewing the two front side, this side and this side. So let me go and sew it and I'll get back to you. After joining the lining, so the next step is to join the two collars. For me to do that, I'm going to open up this place like so, and then open this other side like this, and I'm going to join it like this. I'll be joining the two collars with half an inch. Okay, so let me join it and I'll get back to you. So I've joined the two collars together and this is what I have. So the next thing I'll do is to turn. I'll turn to the right side. The next step is to join the front and the back together. So I'm going to fold the back side like so. I'm going to fold it into two to get the center point. I'm going to notch the center point of the back side like this. Okay, so after giving it a notch, then this is the front side. So I'm going to place it such that the joining line is going to match up with this notch at the center back. So I'll place it and I'm going to sew. I'm going to sew like this. From the center, I'm going to sew. I'll sew the neckline and then I'll join the two shoulders. After sewing this side, I'll start from the center again and then I'll sew this side as well. So let me sew it and I'll get back to you. So guys, I've joined the back collar to the back neckline and then the shoulder. I've joined the two shoulders, this one and this one. So the next thing for us to do is I'm going to use the back lining. I'll use the back lining to turn the neckline and the shoulder. Alright, so I'm going to place it. First, I'll get the center of the neckline. I'll get the center of the neckline and give it a notch. So I'm going to match it with the center line of the collar towards this side. This is the wrong side and this is the right side of the lining. Okay, so I'm going to place it like this and then I'm going to sew towards the neckline and then I'll join the shoulder. Let me do that and I'll get back to you. So guys, I'm done joining the lining and this is what I have. So I'm going to use this lining to close up this side. It's going to be like this. It's going to look like this. I hope you understand. So, but first I'm going to use this side, the lining, to turn the back side of the clothes. So I'm just going to turn it like this and then I'll join the down part. So I'll go over to the machine, stitch this side by half an inch. All right, so let me go over to the machine and join this side. So guys, I'm done fixing the collar and I've given it a good press. And this is what I have. Okay, so this is the back side, the back collar. Okay, and it's well placed, it's well positioned. So, and I've turned this side, the back side as well. So guys, the next thing I'll do is to close the two sides. I'll sew like this down, and then I'll sew this side down as well. So guys, I'm done joining the two sides. So the next thing we're going to do now is to fix the sleeve. All right, so I'm going to fold like 3 inches here. I'll fold it like so. I'll fold a little inside, and then I'll stitch on top. I'll stitch like this. So I'm going to fold and stitch, fold and stitch. So guys, yeah, this is the sleeve. I'm going to be inserting this elastic inside the sleeve. So what I have here is 10 inches elastic, depending on your round sleeve. My round sleeve is 12 inches, so I have 10 inches here. So I'm going to insert it here. I'm going to run a stitch on this line. This is ½ inch from this place. So I measured ½ inch and I draw a line. So I'm going to follow this line to run a stitch on it for the elastic. Okay, so after sewing it, I'm going to insert the elastic and I'll fix the sleeve here. All right, so let me go and do that. The elastic is 2, so let me go and do that. I'll get back to you. So guys, I'm done fixing the sleeves. Look at the 2 sleeves. All right, so this is our belt also. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is to do the buttonhole. I'm going to do the buttonhole. I'll put 1 button here. So from here, I'm going to measure 5 inches and put the next button. The distance for the buttons is going to be 5 inches. All right, I'll do the buttonhole. I'll fix my buttons and I'll try it on for us to see. All right, so thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it to others. Thank you and God bless you. Till next time, for now, it is bye-bye.